What up, guys? It's your boy Shady Luke back with another video. And today, we're going to be doing a little review on kind of what I think is going to be going on with the Minnesota Vikings this year. And just how I think their season is going to play out and kind of how I feel about them. Just to start off, man, like things have gotten weird. So like their defense, their defense was really good to start out the season. And they were still like one of the top units in the league for the remainder of the season. I know it didn't play out the best, but there were like some offensive woes and some other things going. But we saw how Sam Darnold played. Sam Darnold took over for Kirk Cousins. And Sam Darnold, I don't care what anybody says, man. I am all for these quarterbacks that rejuvenate their careers, take over, and they're just balling. And I know people, even the good game Sam Darnold had this year, people were still downing him. And I'm like, dude, he's having a good season. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. He had KOC. KOC's a really good offensive play caller. He had good wide receivers in Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. And if I remember right, TJ Hawkinson came back later in the season after injury, if I remember right. So their offense was pretty good. We kind of saw them fizzle out towards the end. Things got a little bit weird there. Lots of people started to question KOC, like, oh, how good is KOC? Blah 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 blah. KOC in the playoffs. Dude, there's always these certain people that it takes them a bit to like get that rhythm in the playoffs. But in this league, we're so impatient, and some of the owners are impatient. So if they're not getting those wins, people start questioning. I don't really know how good he is. I don't know how good he is. But I do think KOC is a really good head coach, and I think he's a really good play caller. It will be interesting this upcoming year, having JJ McCarthy take over. And JJ McCarthy, I didn't watch enough of him at Michigan, and if I remember right, at Michigan they ran the ball like more than the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, they were running the ball so much under Jim Harbaugh, and so the little bit I've seen of JJ McCarthy and not training camp. Yeah, the clips of him in training camp and during the preseason, right before injury, he looked damn good, bro. Like, I was watching, I was like, bro, he looks good. Like, oh man, the NFC North, stacked with talent. And I saw JJ McCarthy right before he went down. I was like, bro, he looks good. He looks good. And then, of course, that happened, right? So you got him taking over this year. And it should be interesting, right? Because, like, there's so many people like, oh, we're Minnesota Vikings last 2 years, Kirk Cousins, they've been winning, they've been good. They have been winning, and they have been good. But if you're going to underestimate how much a first-year starting quarterback can matter for a team, even if they did win, even if they went on to win 13, 14 games, it's a big deal. I mean, I've seen some people kind of say that it's not the biggest deal. The majority of us, right, we know how big the starting quarterback position is, especially a first-year starter. It could be huge for Minnesota, even if their defense is still good. It could change. Let's just say JJ McCarthy struggles, right, and he struggles bad. They're in the NFC North, okay? We're expecting the Bears to be better with Caleb and Ben Johnson. Green Bay is going to be good. Detroit's going to be good, I hope, with their new coordinators. But they got the talent. They'll give people issues regardless. You got all those dudes in your division, and then you have this new dude. And, like, you look at Detroit. Detroit's defense was good even when they were injured. Green Bay's defense was good. Chicago's defense is good right before Eberflus went down. And Minnesota's defense is good. So you got all these good defenses in the division. And you got this one first-year starter going up against all these good defenses. And that's where things get interesting. Because if he's bad, you're going to see all that criticism, all of that talk about KOC this, KOC that, all the rest of the team. And I don't really think KOC deserves all that criticism, because I'm like, dude, just keep him there. Let him see what he can do over the course of the next 2 to 3 seasons, right? And if I remember right, they extended him. I could be right, but I swear they recently extended KOC. But if JJ McCarthy struggles, it could get weird. It could get weird, and it could get weird really fast. And let's just say he struggled, dude. Like, Sam Darnold goes to have a really good season with Seattle. Then you're like, bruh, what did we just do? And I honestly thought that they were going to keep Sam Darnold, right? You keep Sam Darnold, you have JJ McCarthy sit for like another 1 to 2 years, right? That's like the most ideal situation. We've seen it with a couple quarterbacks. And like I heard somebody recently talking about Patrick Mahomes. They're like, you're never going to see another situation where a quarterback sits like Patrick Mahomes. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I know like we like to like throw these players into the light. Everybody's impatient, wants to see within the first like 1 to 2 years, what do they got? What do they got? But I'm like, no, dude, like I could see a team in a situation where they're like, hey, we got this starter. He's good, right? We can keep him in there for 1 to 2 years. Let our young player develop. But they got rid of Sam Darnold, so now I have JJ McCarthy. And the rest of the offense is pretty solid, right? I mean, if you got Jettas, arguably the best wide receiver in the league, right? Some people would consider him the best in the league. And then Jordan Addison, who I think is extremely underrated. I think Jordan Addison is so good. I know he had that little stint there with KOC where he's talking about his targets. You know, he's like, I'm not getting my target share and all this. Then they started targeting him. Jordan Addison's good. And they're one of those top duos. I know some people may not put them up in there, but I do. If you got Jettas and as one of your wide receivers, it's already up there, right? The running back situation is solid. It's solid. Things got kind of weird with their offensive line. If I remember right, I can't remember if they dealt with injuries or if it was just their offensive line. So I just remember Sam Darnold having zero time. There was, dude, I remember games where there was time where he didn't have a lot of time, and the pressure, it seemed like it was getting to Sam Darnold, so he was like holding on to the ball, and he was taking sacks, and it was just like, Judas Priest, dude, like this needs to get cleaned up. And so with JJ McCarthy, that offensive line is going to need to do their job, man, because dude's coming off of a pretty bad injury, you know what I mean? So he's going to need to be protected. On the defensive side, the defense with Minnesota, I just love the way they're ran, dude. Their defense is like hyper aggressive, freaking blitzing. You know what I mean? They just trust their guys to get home. I loved watching them this last year. Like I really did. I know other defenses stepped up, but Minnesota, I was like, ooh, they'll give people problems. I saw it in that first couple weeks, and they did during the course of the season. So, you know, hopefully that defense will literally be playing as a top 10 unit, you know, with a first-year starter, or if you want to call him a rookie. I'm not even going to be mad if you sit here and be like, JJ McCarthy is technically a rookie. He's technically a rookie, dude. He's starting in his first year. He's never got to start in the NFL. I view him as a rookie. I don't view him as a second-year starter or whatever, or first-year starter, second year. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, no. So, you know, it'll be interesting because the conference is getting tough. The conference is changing. You know, there's a lot of teams on the come up. NFC West literally be a problem. NFC East, you got the Eagles, you got my Birds, and then you got you know, Jaden Daniels. Just wowed us his rookie season. Who expected that? Who expected Jaden Daniels to be? Some people, oh yeah, I expected it. No. So you got him, young QB, you know, got the Cowboys. Cowboys should be better. Giants, you know. NFC East could be another hard division. NFC South, those teams definitely could be playing tough. I don't view them in the upper echelon of the NFC, but the Bucks give people they're a tough team, right? And then, so you got the NFC South, the NFC North in their own division, the East, and the West. It's tough. It's tough. But here's the flip side, right? If JJ McCarthy is solid to good, what are we looking at with the NFC North? What are we looking at with Minnesota? Because then things change, right? So KOC has his guy. And when KOC has his guy, you know, we'll see what happens this year. Going into the second year, if he's solid to good, they're only going to get better. And for Skull, dude, you know those Skull fans, they just want that guy. They just want that guy that they can have around forever. Me growing up, I cannot remember a single quarterback that they've had that they've just kept around for years. Like Kirk Cousins was kind of the only stable, pretty good quarterback that I can remember that they had. They didn't even get him, you know what I mean? They got him off of they got him from Washington, but they haven't had it. And so if JJ McCarthy's good, and I'm rooting for JJ McCarthy, like I'm expecting JJ McCarthy to be solid to good. I don't think he's going to be bad. I just don't, dude. Because I think KLC is such a good play caller. And I see it in some of these young quarterbacks with like good play callers. And I do respect KOC up there with some of the best. You see it with Shanahan, with Brock Purdy. You see it with McVay. He did it with Goff. He's doing it with a veteran quarterback now, so that's a little bit different. You see it with LaFleur. LaFleur is just doing a really great job with Jordan Love. We do see Jordan Love be inconsistent at times, but you see it with these play callers. When you pair a good head coach who's an offensive mind with a potentially good young quarterback like JJ McCarthy, yes, I do view JJ McCarthy like that, the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Sky's the limit. You could be looking at a good 10 to, well, I'm not going to go 10, but you could be looking at a good like 6 to 10 years of a guy that you could have around forever. You know what I mean? With that pair of QB and head coach duo. So I'm rooting for Minnesota. Honestly, with this season, I think Minnesota's going to take a step back. I don't think they're going to have the wins they did last year. I'm expecting them, honestly, 8 to 11 wins. That's my guess. I honestly think that Minnesota's going to get 8 to 11 wins. I think they're going to put up a tough fight against some teams, but I think that JJ McCarthy's going to go through that bit of struggle. I don't think he's going to come out of the gate like we saw Jaden Daniels did his rookie year. So we'll see. We'll see. Minnesota's interesting. They're interesting just like the Bears. The Bears in Minnesota, they both, I'm like watching both of them. Like, I'm like, those are teams. Yeah, I mean, the NFC North is already such a task. And I'm like, man, those two teams could give my Birds issues in the upcoming seasons if things go decent to right for them. So we'll see. We'll see, man. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think about Minnesota this upcoming year. And let me know what you think about JJ McCarthy and KOC. Those are like the main dudes of Minnesota. So let me know what you guys think about those dudes. And yeah, man. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's your boy Shady Luke. I'm outie, and I'll catch you in the next one.